Hello everybody, it is a beautiful summer day in Southeast Texas. It's going to be very hot, but it's Southeast Texas. If it's not hot, something's wrong, and you should run for your life. So I wanted to show off what I've got in bloom today, because I've got a few things, and some things in spike. And it's just going to be a beautiful day, and I get to enjoy my orchids. So the first thing that I'm sitting right in front of is one of my favorites. This is, let's see if I can get the camera to focus on it. There we go. Galeandra, or Galeandra, I think it's Galeandra, I'm not sure. Boweri. It's just starting to open this flower. Beautiful coppery color to those petals and sepals, and love the striping on that lip. Now the purple color of the edge of the lip won't really show through until it opens up fully. But it'll produce a small flush, at least for me, this one has, and then it will sequentially bloom either off this stem or it will branch off somewhere up here and bloom. And it's a Catasetum Alliance orchid. I got this one from Clown Alley Orchids last year, and it bloomed for me then 3 times. And this is my first growing an entire new bulb and blooming it, and it smells like raspberry candy to me when it's fully open and cranking. But you know it's about ready to open, like when this bud is getting close, where you can see it kind of puffing a little bit. It's got that coppery color coming in, and then the stripes on the lip become super prominent. Whereas obviously this one is immature. The spur isn't fully elongated. The stripes are not prominent, and it's not as puffy or coppery. Next is it's an Oncidium intergeneric, or the Miltonia intergeneric, but I like this one, so I got a new one. This is Odontogloss or Odontonia. I'm not really sure where it is right now. I have to look it up again. Pacific Paranoia. So I've got this spike here, and then this other growth decided to send up a spike as well, and you can see it wiggling here. So that's nice. It's a lightly fragrant purple hybrid, and it looks really pretty and lasts forever, it feels like. Dendrobium unicum. I have 2 of these. We'll be getting a third because it is going to be shipping this week. There's my other one. I mounted this one. It needs to be watered already. It's looking okay so far, but I wanted to see how the difference in growing would be if I had one mounted and one potted. Now this one I like a lot more actually, because this is just how the flowers are. Now they're a weird plant, a weird species already, but that reflex is actually not that bad. On this one, the reflex curls the petals into almost a 360 loop, whereas this one they just kind of curl back. Sorry, it keeps going out of focus, and just kind of sit there. But it's a beautiful species. Some people say it smells like peaches. None of the ones I've ever seen or had smelled like that, or smelled at all. But they last a while, upwards of a month. This one lasted almost a month and a half, whereas this one, it's already fading a few flowers on this cane. And this one didn't have nearly as many, but you see this one's fading already. This little guy is still in spike. I'm sure I've showed him before. I don't remember where, when, but there we go. I need to get an autofocus on this thing. That worked. I don't know how I did that, but it worked. But anyway, yeah. This is Paphleucochilum crossontyanum. And it's a beautiful little plant. That's just an old leaf dying back down there. It's nothing to worry about. It's taken forever to get this far though, because I wasn't in spike at all when I got it. But then it spiked. I spiked it, and now I've got a adorable little bud. It's a cute as heck little plant. Oh, I just fell on my seat. So now let's get up and come over to the phals. This one, Phalaenopsis Princess Kailowani. It's a cross of Phalaenopsis amboyensis and Violacea. This one is it's a heat-damaged rescue that I was sent. It has a spike, though, but I don't know if it'll do anything with it. This is Phalaenopsis samara, made with an Alba Violacea and a clone of Bellina called Mondo, but I've never seen it in bloom. This is Phalaenopsis Violacea Red X, or Blue X Red. This is an older spike, and this is a newer spike. These all are recent purchases from High desert orchids, my favorite. You can see all the blue tags everywhere. Hieroglyphica is, I'm pretty sure it has a spike in there. But it's like not doing much yet because the plant was an import and it's still very rough looking. I might lose this leaf too, but it'll recover. It's got this nice new leaf growing and then another one starting. That's not in spike, but it's just so adorable. This is Grammatophyllum scriptum. This is dwarf. This is just a plug, but it's pretty much blooming size. Because Kelly, when she sold me this one, showed me a picture of one that she kept for herself because she deserves the best. So she deserves it. Like, she does a lot of hard work, so she kept the one with the spike. It was just the same size as this. So this is blooming size here. And this is Phalaenopsis mannii, another heat damaged rescue that I got on discount. And it's got two spikes on it as well. One of them's branching. And no buds yet, but it arrived with a flower on it, but the flower fell off in shipping. Like, it was done. This one is Phalaenopsis LOC Magic Panther. It's just starting to develop new buds. It took a short break, but this flower's been on for a while. It's beautiful. It's a cornucurvi cross, cornucurvi and pantherina. And you can see the new spikes, buds developing and the new spike tip growing. Phalaenopsis valentinii, as usual, looking fabulous. There's 2 buds on each spike developing. And then, because there's a 3rd spike here. And when this leaf finishes growing, I guarantee I'm going to get a 4th spike out of here. Because this thing is such a vigorous grower and bloomer. It grows and blooms constantly. It smells amazing. Yeah, like a floral, sweet floral cinnamon smell. It's a cross of cornucurvi and violacea. And this is my favorite orchid of all time. I know Phalaenopsis, like, everybody has those. Even the warm growing hybrids are not too uncommon. But I just love it for how vigorous it is, how beautiful it is, how well it grows. The fragrance and the root tips. Like, look at that. When they're exposed to light, especially when they're coming out of the top of the pot, they flush that beautiful red color. Whereas roots that are in the pot tend to be more green, but it's still, like, absolutely gorgeous. I'm trying to say, I know there's more out here. This is Phalaenopsis Yang Yang Blueberry. You can see that new spike starting right there. Right there. And this is the beautiful new leaf that I just finished. So I love the ripples and the shininess. It's a very healthy plant. It was a little bit rough for wear from import to Norman's, but once I got it here, you can see like the mark and the nick. It grew this smaller leaf as it adjusted, but then it grew this beautiful large one, and it's gorgeous plant. It's a Tetraspis cross, there's Violacea in there too, although I don't remember the exact parentage. Let me come outside. I think there's more. Oh yeah, there is more. Of course there is. My epiphyllums. These my grandmother gave me these because she just couldn't take care of them anymore. They're huge, but I've got 2 buds on this one. The other one's not in bud yet, but you can see, like, it's just a massive plant. A big old chunky plant. I've got a spike. This is actually, let me come over to this side of it. Huge for me because I've never bloomed a Brassivola before. Only a hybrid, and it was BC Besho, which is this one right in the middle with that tall spatula-shaped leaf. Well, not spatula, but the tall, thick, wide leaf right in the middle of the frame. Check this out. This is Brassivola cuculata. I've got a third spike here that's a little bit farther behind. But I got 2 buds on that one, and then 1 bud on the lower one. This is the new growth here that I'm wiggling. This one was the one right before it. I've got 4 buds. This is going to be quite a show when these eventually get to bloom, and I don't know how long that will take, but once the buds started to poke out of the sheath, it kind of sped up a little, so that, like, this was not this prominent not long ago. But it's over here because Brassivola cuculata, believe it or not, is a shadier grower. It's not like shadier like a Phalaenopsis, but compared to like Nodosa, I've got my Nodosa hanging right there on the edge, and it gets some direct sun. whereas the cuculata is closest to the shed here and the tree and the roof and gets a little bit of sun, but it's just bright. So it's actually a shadier grower than people think it is. And then just a bunch of things just kind of hanging out here. Like, they're not in bloom because they're imports, but like my Cattleya purpurata. This is the Ubatuba. This is an import, so you can see it's definitely stressed out, but it's a rootless import. Although it is starting to grow some roots, and then it's got this new growth. Cattleya tenebrosa, also got a new growth hiding back there. And then this one's a Cattleya purpurata as well, but this is the Flammea form. Cattleya purpurata Flammea. And so I just have them out here so they're pretty bright, but they still get some shade. Because I don't want them to get burned or anything, but I also want them to be outside and just get used to being outside. Now, if I come this way, my giant, I sunburned my Warneri, which kind of pisses me off, but it'll survive. You can see like the couple spots. This was, I think, from that as well. Some of this was, the white wasn't from me, but the darker definitely was. So I'm kind of pissed about that, but it's growing well. It's got a nice new growth right there. It should bloom. It's the Alba form of Warneri. But there's a bud right there. This is Rhyncholaliocattleya Ports of Paradise. It's I don't know why it's only got the one bud, which is weird because it bloomed 3 on the last growth. This one only developed 1, and then this other new growth that it has didn't develop any at all. I think it's, I don't know, I think it's because it's a younger lead. Like I've noticed that even the biggest plants I've had and seen, if a new lead sprouts off somewhere, it doesn't always bloom, even if it's a big plant. Whereas this one is an older lead, but not as old as, like, let's say this one that I'm holding. Because this one is the one that bloomed 3 flowers. Or no, that's not the one that bloomed 3 flowers. This is the one that bloomed 3 flowers over here. This one's a slightly younger lead. But it's still going to bloom. It's going to be fabulous. And if it's only 1 flower, that means it's going to be extra fabulous. Now, the only problem is, look where it's angled. The bud decided to grow outward or into there. And so that means the flower is going to be positioned very oddly. I'm going to have to work around that and stake it up really well. And then the last thing I want to show, before I shut off, see if I can get it to, probably not. Come on. Okay, it doesn't want to, but that's Hoya multiflora up there. And then this one it should focus on, yeah. Hoya lacunosa. It smells really good. It's like a very sweet, jasmine-y smell. I used to only smell it at night, but lately, since I moved here to Texas, it's been blooming and smelling like during the day as well. But it's hooked onto the Hoya Bella pot. And Hoya Bella is in bud in a few spots, but they're not going to open anytime soon. They still got a little ways. But anyway, I do hope you guys enjoyed this little checkup on what's blooming and what's happening here. I hope everything is blooming and growing well for you guys as well. And I look forward to hearing about it in the comments below. Now, I do want to preface one thing. I am not very good about checking the comments, that much is clear. But I do occasionally pop on to check them, and I want to try and build a better habit of doing so. So if you have a question or something, just put it in the comments below, and if I don't respond immediately, don't be discouraged. It's just because I post the video and then I'll forget to check it like a few hours later. I should probably set a reminder or something. But anyway, yeah. So I hope you guys are enjoying your day. I hope you guys are having great growing. And take it easy.